Hi, a Rosie math teacher coming at you from my 5th period grade 7 math class where we are talking about circles and the parts of a circle. We are starting where we left off. We've already done a little bit. I won't go back over that right now. But I do have a circular plate, and I want my class in a moment to tell me what the distance around this plate is called. Think.
Circumference.
Circumference. Excellent participation from this class. Thank you. And then we have a distance sometimes that goes just from the center of the circle to the outer edge. I'm pointing to the shorter line. What do we call this?
Radius.
Radius. Excellent. And then what do we call the longer line that cuts through and goes from one side through the center all the way to the other side? What do we call that? Diameter. And some of my students are remembering. I asked them to call this radius Rose because I'm Rose and I'm short. Probably the shortest teacher you know. I'm only 4 feet 11 inches tall when I'm not cheating in my shoes. Okay? So radius Rose reminds you that's the shorter line inside of a circle. Diameter David, I have a student whose real name is David and he's about 6 feet tall. So we're going to call him the longer piece. Diameter David will help you remember that's the longer piece. Radius Rose helps you remember shorter piece. And guys, notice the radius is 1/2 of the diameter. And the diameter is 2 times as long as the radius. So quick example. If this radius is 2 inches, it's not, but if it were, let's be closer to accurate. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 5 inches, maybe 6. We're just going to say 5. So if this radius is 5 inches long, and we know that the diameter is 2 times as long as the radius, how long is this diameter, class? If this is 5 inches, then this diameter is 10. Because 5 times 2 equals 10. What if you knew the diameter? So let's use a different diameter this time. What if the diameter is 12 inches long? Then how long would the radius be?
6.
Why? Because half of 12 equals 6. Excellent. Let's talk about the formulas that I already talked to you guys about. The red formulas are what you will use if they're telling you use 3.14 in place of pi. The green ink formulas are the ones you will use if they are saying to solve in terms of pi. Let's begin with an item that we did not yet get to do yesterday. I want everyone to go to item number 2. A circular fence is being used to enclose a circular play area around a doghouse. Class, trace the fence that's going to go in the circular play area around this doghouse. So basically, just trace the what of the circle? What's that called? Circumference. Excellent. Trace the circumference of that circle. How much fencing is needed to build the fence? Use 3.14 for pi. Hey guys, they did say to use 3.14 for pi. So we're going to use what color ink? The red ink. And did they give us a diameter or did they give us a radius across the center here? Diameter. Excellent. What is the measurement of the diameter? 14.5 feet. So please recopy the red ink formula where you have a D for diameter. So what are you copying right now? Please say it. C equals pi d. Now, did they give us the circumference? No, that's what they are asking for. So under the C, draw a box where your circumference will go in a moment. And under the pi, what did they say to use in place of the pi symbol? 3.14. Do we know the value of that diameter?
Yes.
What is it?
14.5.
14.5. And what symbol goes in between, class?
Times.
Multiply. In a moment, you will multiply 3.14 times 14.5. You will write your amount here, but wait. If your amount goes farther than the hundredths place, 2 digits after the decimal, you will need to round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Do you understand how you will finish that in a moment on your own? All right, I want to take you to an item where you have to solve in terms of pi. Everybody go to item number 3, please. Item number 3. It says, find the circumference of a circle All right, draw a circle again, please. Everybody in this room, draw a circle again. This time, we're trying to find the circumference, which is the distance what? Around that circle. How can we find the distance around that circle? We're going to use one of the formulas, but wait, they do say it has a radius of 31 1/2 yards. So is the radius from the center to the edge or from edge to edge through the center? The first thing I said or the second? The first. Excellent. From the center to the edge is the radius. Now draw an arrow pointing to your radius and label it with how long the radius of this circle is. On the count of 3, read that number to me. 1, 2, 3.
31 1/2.
Love your answer. 31 1/2. Do you understand so far? Are you with me so far? Then it says, express your answer in terms of pi. Go back to our formulas. Are we going to use red ink or green ink formula?
Green.
Green ink. When they say solve in terms of pi, I want you to think serve the pie after dinner because it becomes your label. You won't use 3.14. Do you follow? All right. So let's look at item number 3. They gave us the what? The radius or the diameter? Class? Radius. So green ink formula with an R in it. Read to me what you're about to copy. Excellent. C equals 2R pi. Are we doing that so far? And are we understanding so far? Okay? And then let me ask you this. Do we know the circumference yet? No. Are we trying to find the circumference? Yes, so draw yourself an answer box where you will put that circumference later. All right, now under the 2, what do I write? I write a 2 because I keep it. Do I know the value of the radius? Yes. And it will get what by 2? Multiply. This time I'm going to use parentheses. What am I writing in the parentheses? 31 1/2 inside that parentheses. What am I doing with the pi symbol? Just copying it. Remember, it's a label. Think of it like inches, feet, yards. We're only going to multiply 2 times 31 1/2. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this one with you mentally. Can anyone tell me what 2 times 31 is?
62.
It is 62. And what is 2 times 1/2? 1. So what is 62 plus 1?
63.
Great job doing mental math, you guys. So please write 63 pi. Now because item number 3 says to solve in terms of pi, your work here is done. As soon as you have a number and the pi symbol sitting beside it, that is your answer. So inside that box, go back and write 63 pi symbol. And in a moment, when you solve number 3 online, you are only going to type 6, 3, and then in the toolbar, tap the symbol pi on McGraw-Hill app, not in the calculator. Don't tap the pi symbol in your calculator, okay? Okay. So they basically, when you're solving in terms of pi, you simply want the value of that diameter and then the pi symbol after it, and that represents that circumference. All right, I want everybody to go down to item number 7. We're going to work on item number 7. Find the approximate radius of a circle with a circumference of 34.48 inches. Everyone in this room, draw the circle now. Draw your circle. And then it says, find the approximate radius. Draw a radius. And then, do you know the radius yet? No. So please write R to represent the measurement of the radius you do not yet know. You just know you want to know it. On a circle with a circumference of, so guys, circumference is distance what? Around the circle. And they said the circumference equals what amount?
34.48.
Excellent, 34.48 inches. Please write down that measurement for circumference. I see some people not writing. Please write it. C equals 34.48 inches. Then they do say, use 3.14 for pi, and then of course the fun time at the end, round to the nearest hundredth. All right, let's take a breath and think about what pieces did they give us? Class, did they give us circumference?
Yes.
Yes. Class, are they asking about radius?
Yes.
Yes. Did they tell us to use 3.14 in place of pi? Also yes. So a couple questions for you then. Since they don't want us to solve in terms of pi, since they do want us to use 3.14 in place of it, will I use a red ink formula or a green ink formula? Red. Excellent. We don't need to put the pi last. Will I use the one that includes a D for diameter or an R for radius? R for radius. Why? Because they're asking for radius, aren't they? So everyone copy the red formula right now near your problem that says C equals pi to R. C equals pi to R. Next step. Do we already know the value of C? Yes. Read it to me as we write it underneath C. What is it?
34.48.
Great job, guys. Wow, awesome. Did they tell us next what to use in place of the pi? What did they say?
3.14.
Great job. What will we do next? Multiply, add, subtract, divide? Multiply times what?
3.
Times the 2. Do you follow why it's times the 2? Because the 2 came next in the formula. So the value of pi was 3.14. And then the value of 2 is 2. We need to multiply by that 2. Okay? Now, class, do we know the radius? No. So we keep that written as what variable? R. What do you think the next step is?
Divide.
You're stepping ahead. That does happen in a moment, but not quite yet. So great job on that. But what happens first? Multiply. What will we multiply first? Excellent. Wave at me if you know what that will equal. Say it.
7.
Double the 3, 6, double the 1, 2, double the 4. So what am I writing? Everybody write 6.28. Do we know the radius yet still? No, so just write 6.28 what? R. Still keep your circumference. 34.48 equals. Now we have it down to a single step equation. R is being what by 6.28? Excellent. What is the inverse operation? Divide by? Say it again. Do this on both sides. So underneath both sides, divide by 6.28. Divide by 6.28. So in a moment, do you see that you will enter this in your calculator? And whatever it gives you, you will round to the nearest what? Hundredths. And will that give you the value of your radius? R. Yes. At this time, you may get busy. Solve it. Thank you.